There's nothing quite like that winning feeling, is there? Especially in a North London derby. Guys, we are going to cover the 2-1 win for Arsenal. Very, very happy to see Arsenal back in winning ways, especially with a depleted squad. We will do our normal catch up of the lineup, get into the game. Um, Mentioned it already, North London derby win against our fiercest rivals, Tottenham. And it's a game that I'm passionate about. You know, I grew up in North London. I grew up in North London, East London. I'm a London boy, and this is something that's always been a big rivalry for me. Growing up, obviously, it was Man United, Tottenham, Liverpool. There was a lot of different rivalries, but this one is one that lives long. And we came into this game on the back of back-to-back defeats, two defeats against two of pretty fierce rivals recently for Arsenal. Newcastle, definitely. Arsenal have had battles there. And Man United, one of the fiercest rivals, which I've spoken about already. Coming into this game now, we'll get into it. Arsenal came in with a structured team, quite similar to what we saw. I think Thomas Partey was backing the team here, if I'm not mistaken, Rice as well. Before it was Moreno and Jorginho, Trossard, Sterling up top with Kai Havertz. Now that Gabriel Jesus has been determined that he will be out for the season, ACL injury was pretty obvious from when it happened. My thoughts and opinions on that is obviously devastating for him, and do wish him the best in his recovery. From a just purely footballing standpoint, it's bad. It's really, really bad for Arsenal, for the project, for the club, for him. And he was starting to find a little bit of form, but this is devastating because that's another 9 months minimum for him to come back. And we saw the impact the last injury had on him. What impact will this one have? So this was the team from an Arsenal perspective. Tottenham, we obviously know, have been ravished by injuries. They have obviously got their new goalkeeper in the back with Vicario injured, Dragoson and Gray at centre back, Spence and Porro in fullback position, Sarr, Basuma, Bergval, and Kula and Son on the wings with Solanke up top. And again, it was a game that meant a lot to both teams. Arsenal needed a win. They could not afford to drop points against Tottenham if they had the hopes of continuing in any shape or form, because we know where they are in the Carabao Cup, we know where they are in the FA Cup, and so the Premier League, even though it's a long shot, is a shot still at this point. And so all your hopes on the Champions League for a team who haven't progressed to the semi-final in a number of years, I think 20, 19 years. Yeah, the pressure was on. Going into the game, as mentioned, complete domination from Arsenal. I'm not going to spell it out in terms of what Arsenal did, because you guys know what Arsenal did. They dominate the game from a purely statistical standpoint, from the play on the pitch. If I'm being honest with you, domination, domination, domination. But Arsenal aren't clinical. Arsenal can't take their chances, and it's not one player, it's not two players. The whole team is complicit. No one more than the striker, in my opinion. That is your role. That is, when you get opportunities, you need to take them. If you're not being created for, then that's one thing. Kai Havertz today, again, I've defended him on occasions. Not today, and not against Man United either. Not good enough. His role and his responsibility is of high regard. You are earning a lot. You are meant to do a lot. You got to do it. Same expectations with Jesus as well. Second highest paid player. This is a 200 and 550k plus that we're spending on two strikers, and they aren't delivering. So from a Cronky standpoint, you're saying I'm outlaying so much money on strikers, we're not getting that output. Yeah, you're not getting that output because Kai Havertz, as well as he has performed, and don't get me wrong, he has performed well. If you look at his stats and you look at his output, he's producing a goal or an assist every other game. That is good. But we need a goal scorer. We need an Isak. We need someone who is going to contribute and complement Kai Havertz, because Kai Havertz isn't going to, even if he has a 20 goal a game season, that's probably a rarity. That's probably not what he's going to be doing. He's probably going to get you around the 14, 15s, and you probably need someone who's going to get you the 20s, the 25s in addition to that, and can rotate with Kai Havertz. That's been my point all along. I didn't think Jesus was good enough in the ability to finish. He did show that towards the back end of last season. We can't deny that, but he needs to show it consistently. That's the expectations of playing at a team like Arsenal. Any big team, especially now that you're in the Premier League, you are judged by your output, and he is no different. So not good enough from him, not good enough from the whole team, to be honest with you. Odegaard missed a number of chances. Raheem Sterling missed a number of opportunities. There was low IQ plays at certain points of the game, but that first 20 to 25 minutes, Arsenal were dominating. You can actually see in the momentum again, with something that we always look at. It was complete domination from Arsenal, but the one opportunity that they gave Spurs to have the ball, they took it. Um, off of a corner, the ball was worked on the wing, moved back into the box. It falls to Son, who takes a strike and is deflected off Party. It's a typical where Arsenal have been conceding their goals. Very, very difficult to manage that as an attack and go 1-0 down. Again, we've spoken about game states. Arsenal normally struggle once they go down in a game. It would be up to them to show the heart and determination required to come back in the game. And they did. One thing I'm going to give them credit for is that their heads didn't drop when they went 1-0 down. They fought back. And one of the players I want to call back, and I think Odegaard's been given the man of the match here. My man of the match who didn't get the goal was Gabriel off the corner. We've spoken about how effective Arsenal have been at set pieces. A routine by Nikola Jova, and it's one that's worked continuously well. This one was slightly different. Gabriel coming from the inside, working his way all the way to the back post and getting a header in that was deflected off Solanke. Again, big gap. What a player! What a centre back! He's led, and to me, honestly, he's captain worthy. If I'm being honest with you, he is captain worthy. He deserves his accolades. He deserves to be regarded as one of the best centre backs in the world. Yes, in the world, he is one of the best centre backs in the world. He continues to show it. He's hitting his prime. You can see it when he first joined the club. A lot of errors. Always showed the quality, but he was rash. Now he's developed. He's matured. And he's one of the best centre backs in the world. Honestly, he has been so good, aggressive, physical, determined, but can play a pass. Very, very smart, very, very intelligent. And we're lucky to have him. Honestly, a leader. And for me, one of the unspoken ones. 3 Player of the Match awards in the last 3 Spurs games. Amazing performance from him. For Arsenal to get the lead, they will continue their pressure. Brilliant, brilliant work from Thomas Partey. For me, again, we've spoken about him being one of the players that has, honestly, to me, he's been the best midfielder for Arsenal this season, whether you like him or not. Um, from a footballing standpoint, he has been Arsenal's best midfielder, and the work that he put in, what a fantastic tackle on Basuma, who, for me, this midfield, please do not run these two together. It worked for a period last season. I understand that the Saar Basuma is too reckless, it's too rash in my opinion. Bergwijn as well. This midfield 3 to me is not one I would run in a game like this away from home. You're asking for trouble, no control, no discipline. And Thomas Partey wins the ball off Basuma in the midfield. Brilliant work from Thomas Partey to get the ball. Odegaard smartly gets on the pass, and this is what Arsenal need. They need to win the ball high up the pitch. That's when they're the best. That's when Odegaard's at his best as well, when they win the ball high up the pitch. Odegaard carries the ball very, very well, passes to Trossard on the wing. He's marked one-on-one with Pedro Porro. He just drives towards the box and just unleashes a shot. Poor goalkeeping from Kinski, in my opinion. Very, very poor. Ball goes through his hands. Arsenal 2-1 up, and the celebrations begin. You would think Arsenal would push on from that. As mentioned from the stats, Arsenal had a number of shots, a number of opportunities, but I think dominated more than the stats tell. But Arsenal were not clinical. They were not clinical. A number of opportunities. As mentioned, there was one with Kai Havertz, if I'm not mistaken, that he should. For me, it's not easy, but he should be putting away. I think it was the header. And it's just the expectations that you have on these players to put the ball in the back of the net. Some brilliant work from Rice actually in the midfield, some really dynamic runs. I think he's been pushed to do more of that. It will be interesting again with the signing of Zubimendi, which has been rumoured for Arsenal, how that would work. But Zubimendi is one of the best players Rice can have next to him. Adaptable at 6, adaptable at an 8, same as Rice. He's always needed an elite 6 or 8 pairing so he can do what he needs to do. For me, one of the best defensive sixes that you can have. Um, and also one of the most dynamic box-to-box midfielders you can have, with his strength, with his running power. A lot to like from that position. Good work from Trossard with the goal. Again, the goalkeeper does make a mistake, but you've got to shoot. Another player I want to call out is Miles Lewis-Skelly. Performance beyond these years, absolutely. We've spoken about him before, what a player he is. What impresses me the most is the maturity, of course, the build, the strength. He has it, and what I'm wanting him to do more as he progresses. Not now. You see the accurate passes. and what he did in that regard. But I think what I want from him more, be more adventurous with those passes. Obviously, he's going to grow into it. Obviously, he's going to continue to develop, but he is in a perfect position, 18 years of age, dominating that left back position. Calafiori, to me, is not number one. This boy is. We've spoken about it before. Calm, strong. It's like having another Timber on the side. Timber is obviously better defensively, more mature. I just say, like, in terms of body type, he's like a bigger Timber, Lewis Skelly, and he has the makings of being a fantastic all-round player. Operating in this position in the future will be his aim, obviously, but this is a great opportunity, and he will get into these positions. He does get into these positions and does a great job. I think we've covered majority of the key performers from a Tottenham standpoint. Very disappointing. I don't think they created to a high level. A player that I've always loved and continue to love is Kulusevski, absolute baller. Showed his technical ability multiple times in the game. An opportunity fell to him in the first half, I believe, and he just swiveled perfectly into the box. A really, like, it looked like a heavy touch, but it was perfect for him to get on the end of it. Struck it really well, saved by Raya. The discussion about Ramsdale and Raya is naive when you look back on it. Very, very naive. David Raya has been so solid, and he deserves, again, his accolades, as many players do. We'll talk about the players off the bench. Gabriel Martinelli wasn't super impressed. A lot of low IQ plays, but not to be mean. He's been doing it a lot, is what I'm going to say. A lot of plays that he can set up his teammate up, and he makes the wrong decision, and sometimes he should take it, and he does, and it's a poor finish. Kieran Tierney came on again. It was good to have KT on the pitch. He did his job, was defensively solid from a Tottenham side. Madison came on. He actually did have a little bit of an impact on the game. Can't say the same for Johnson or Richarlison, who were pretty much both non-factors. Moreno and Zinchenko didn't have enough time to impact the game. Rumors about Zinchenko actually leaving, I'm hoping it is true. He's served his purpose. I feel like very underwhelming. And him and Jesus, you know, good 2022-2023 season, but since then it's been a nightmare, if I'm being honest with you, and it's going to be good to refresh those areas of the team. Again, we'll have a quick look at the stats. Arsenal really did play well. They just need to take their opportunities, and Arsenal fans are going to be heavily expecting of Kai Havertz. He needs to rise to those expectations. He shouldn't shirk away from them. For me, he gets a bit too much of the blame, but this game, I don't think he was good. Last game, I didn't think he was good, and he needs to improve. Arsenal need to improve overall if they want to win something this season. That should be their aim. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Who was your man of the match? Who do you think performed well? Who didn't? I want to hear it. I love conversating with you guys, so make sure to leave a comment in the description. I'll catch you soon. It's been EDA. Peace.